Hello, my name is Sudha Vaithalingam. My final project is Azure Machine Learning. In this competitive world, for companies to stay profitable, it is important to not only focus on winning new customers but retaining existing customers. If companies can predict which customers are at a risk of leaving, which customers are good candidates for add-ons and new products and services, it would help companies to optimize their customer relationship and sales and marketing effort and dollars. In this project, I've used Azure Machine Learning to build a customer relationship prediction model to predict churn, appetency, and upselling using datasets modeled from KDD Cup 2009. The technology I'm using is Azure Machine Learning, which is a cloud predictive analytics service that makes it possible to quickly create and deploy predictive models as analytic solutions. The Azure Machine Learning Studio is a browser-based visual drag-drop environment which requires no coding. You can easily create and run machine learning experiments in the studio and deploy it as a predictive analytics web service. The dataset I'm using is the CRM dataset from the French telecom company Orange. There are 4 datasets. CRM dataset shared is the main dataset. There are 3 other labels datasets which need to be combined with the main dataset before we start our experiment. The main dataset, CRM dataset shared, has 50,000 rows and 230 columns. As you can see here, there are a lot of missing values in this dataset, which means it requires cleaning before we can use it for our experiment. The labels datasets have 50,000 rows corresponding to the main dataset, and they have one column which has a value of -1 or 1, and there are no missing values. These are the implementation steps to create a machine learning experiment. You have to create a new project and a new experiment, and then all these steps you need to follow. Run the experiment, evaluate the results, modify your experiment to improve the accuracy of the model, and once you're satisfied with your model, you can deploy your model as a web service. This is the customer relationship prediction model that I've created using two-class decision forest algorithm. I'm going to show you the model in the Machine Learning Studio. This is the model. Let me explain the model before I run the experiment. This is the CRM dataset shared. These are the other 3 datasets. The clean missing data will replace any missing values with 0. The add columns combines the output of the clean missing data and the labels into a new data set. The split data will split the data into 2, one for the training and one for evaluation. The two-class decision forest is the algorithm that we are using to train the model. So the train model will take 2 inputs, one which has the data set and the other is the actual algorithm. The score model is used to predict the values, and it takes some of the split data from the data set. So the split data will tell you whether to split. This one says split the data as 80% training and 20% test. The score model is for predicting the values, and evaluate model tells you what the results of the prediction was. It shows the accuracy of the model. So we have 3 of these because of the 3 values that we are predicting. So you can run your experiment by clicking on run. Depending on which algorithm you use, it may take longer or it may run very fast. For the two-class decision forest, the experiment runs very quickly. If you choose some models such as neural network, it may take longer for the experiment to run. As the experiment is running, you can see green check marks against each of the modules as they execute. Green check mark means the module ran successfully. You can see here that the experiment finished running. Now if you want to see the results, you click on evaluate model and then click on visualize, and you can see the different visualization of the evaluation results. And at the bottom you can see all the numerical metrics. The AUC is 0.667 for the CRM upselling. Similarly, you can see the results for each of the other value that we are trying to predict. For the appetency, it's 0.706 AUC. And for churn, it's 0.630. So this is how easily you can run your experiment. You can, on the left side of the studio, you have this left pane where you can create projects, experiments. So these are all the experiments that I have created. As you can see, I have tried to use different algorithms, and so this is the, for example, I try to use two-class logistic regression. I try to use neural network, another decision jungle, two-class decision jungle, different algorithms to compare which is a best model. So it is so easy to create an experiment. You can just take your existing experiment, delete this module and drag and drop a new one, and you're all set. For example, this is a two-class logistic regression. Let me go back to a different one. Let's pick this one, two-class neural network. So if you want to change your algorithm, you can just delete, okay, you can delete the algorithm from the left pane. You can This is a classification problem. You can pick which one you want, drop it, drag and drop it, and then connect it. And you can save it as customer prediction two-class boosted decision tree. Now you have a new experiment by changing the algorithm, and now you can run it and evaluate the model results. It is as simple as that. It's a easy drag and drop. Now you're running the new experiment. While it's running, it looks like this algorithm takes a little bit longer to run. So these are all the parameters that you can tweak for the algorithm. So the right pane usually shows the parameters of the module, so you can tweak it. So when you click on a module on the right, you can see the different parameters. You can also, if you want to visualize what the data set looks like, you can click on this data set, right click. So the right click has a lot of different functionality. So if you right click this data set, you can see all the missing values. So if you click on a column, you have statistics of the column. This column, variable 1, has 49,000 missing values. After the data is cleaned, okay, so our experiment finished running. So now we can look at how the two-class boosted decision tree compares. So this has a better accuracy, 0.859 is the AUC. Point 0.801. So it's very easy to do experiments in the studio. So the one we used was two-class decision forest, and these are all the results from the evaluate model. So the pros for the Azure machine learning is it's easy to use UI where you can drag and drop modules. No coding is required. There are a lot of modules available for data transformation, machine learning. You can run experiments very fast. You can change the algorithm like I showed you and run experiments easily and select the best model It's a good tool for beginners in machine learning. I learned a lot uh, just going through the documentation in Azure regarding machine learning, and the studio definitely makes it easy to create experiments. The cons are the modules are black box, so you don't know what is the code behind each of the module. My next steps is to deploy my predictive model as a web service. I tried it. I had some challenges. That's my next step, to take customer profile as an input and use the predictive model to predict the customer churn, upselling, and appetency. If you're interested, you can look at my YouTube videos and the GitHub repository. Thank you.